All right, well, make sure you tune in when Kenny Dillingham joins Burns and Gambo in studio. Not joining me in studio right now is Wolf, who is seemingly walking away from the studio right now towards the coffee machine. Oh, he's coming back. I kept turning the on-air light off and on and off and on to see if he would come back, and here he is. Ladies and gentlemen, Wolf. What's up, Wolf?
Man, how late was I?
We've been going for about 12 minutes.
No, you haven't. Stop it.
Just about 20 seconds.
Okay. All right. Hey, what's up, Luke?
You probably could have played it off during that
having
break.
A conversation. People are talking to me.
Well, that's what happens when you're Wolf.
This is the problem right now. It is. I mean, there are faces, and
they talk.
Yes, faces have voices.
I can say this. This legitimately happened during that break. I had a friend of mine text me the bracket again, but just be like, I still can't believe it. I had another friend, I haven't talked to her in forever, and this has happened a lot during this ASU season. People you go to school with that you haven't talked to in forever, you end up talking to. She just texted out of nowhere to talk about it. And I ran into Jarrett Carlin in the hallway, who gave me this lengthy speech about how this was supposed to be U of A this season, and he's not happy.
Oh, okay.
So that all happened in the last 4 minutes, basically.
Right. It was supposed to be the U of A. Get over it. It's not the U of A. It is ASU. Oh, my goodness.
Find your own Kenny.
Jarrett's been whining so much today. It's really, like, I came in and the door was open to the studio, and it was just, like, it sounded like the parents on Peanuts, wah, wah, wah,
just a bunch of noise.
Yeah, just a bunch of noise.
Yeah, but you love it. You love the fact that Jarrett's miserable right now, Rick. All right, so the bracket is set. ASU's going to the Peach Bowl. The tickets, I'm sure, are going to be really cheap. They're going to the Peach Bowl, and they're going to play the winner of Texas and Clemson. Where do you start with this, Wolf? I thought Matt Berry just said something when we had him on earlier in the show that I'm glad he said it, because I've said a version of this a couple times, and it's everybody gets angry at you on both sides if you say this. I think ASU needs to take advantage of the fact that they have the first round bye and make a run here, right? Because I mean, it's in front of you. There's no guarantee that you're going to have this again next year or the year after. Even if you're a better team, there's no guarantee you'll be in this position. But I think they're probably going to change that, where the top four of the first round buys all have to be conference champions.
Yeah.
I think they're probably going to change that, because realistically, and this is where people get mad on both sides, ASU wasn't one of the top four teams this season, so it's kind of crazy they have a buy. But they also are underranked. Like they're overseeded and underranked probably. They were better than Boise State. They should be ahead of Clemson. They should be ahead of some of these other teams. They probably, as Matt Berry just said, should be hosting that 8-9 game.
Yes. Boy, there are so many thoughts that I have when you say here's ASU, number 4, ranked number 4, first round bye. You got to be kidding. There are so many things that I think about Basinonians, but right now it is more than anything else. This is awesome that we have a 12-team playoff. This is awesome. I really don't care about the bye. I don't care about who's 5 and who's 12. I don't care about that stuff. This is the way that it ought to be. If you win games, you're going to be national champion right now. You are guaranteed of that. If you don't lose from this point forward, you are going to be the national champion. Not the BCS. You are going to be the national champion, and it doesn't matter if you were ranked number 12 in the college football playoff. You win, and you're in. That's why there's a lot of people out there saying, well, you know what, this team's got an easier path. The 5 seed, has an easier path than some other seeds that are better seeded than they. Okay, you know what? You can say all of that. For me, I don't care. You know what? Win the game. Win the game or don't win the game. Who cares? Even if you play the best team, it doesn't matter. If you want to be if you want to be national football champion, national football. You want to be college football champion. You know what you got to do? Win. Beat the best to be the best. Who cares who's got a harder road?
And what's great about this now, and maybe 12 teams is the way to go. I was always thinking 8, but 12 seems to work pretty well. There's not like an undefeated team that didn't get in. This isn't like back when you only took 4 teams last year, or even if you go way back, I think, where they used to only take 2 teams. This isn't like, well, yeah, this team was 13-0, but they don't get in. Sorry, those are the breaks. There is none of that. The teams that were on the bubble that didn't get in were Alabama and Miami, and they both lost. Alabama lost 3 games. What did Miami? I think Miami lost 2 or 3. Miami only lost 2, but they didn't make the conference championship. So you don't really have a claim. You don't have like a huge gripe. Like each 12 teams in there, like you said, Wolf. If you win out now, you're the national champion. To me, no matter what, I got up. This is the first thought I had when I got in the car this morning. No matter what happens now, ASU is going to be one of the last 8 teams standing in the country.
Yes.
That's the floor. How crazy is that?
That's true. Let's wallow in that for a minute. Let's roll in that for a minute. But it is going to be interesting to see what they do going forward, the committee, of course, and how they might alter the playoffs. But for me, again, I can't get over it. I don't want to hear about, it was a hard road or it was an easy road. You got 12 teams left. Beat somebody, play somebody, and beat them. And the team that does that, the best and the most, is going to be national champion. That's what matters. Don't talk to me about how easy this game was or how easy that game was. Right now, there are people that are looking at ASU like, oh boy, we'd love to draw ASU. Really? Even though they're the 4 seed right now, and everyone thinks they're the weakest of the teams that got to bye? Maybe Boise State at 3. I think that's what it is. Boise State at 3 is the weakest. But still, it's like, beat somebody.
Yeah.
And forget about who's got an easier or a harder path.
ASU's definitely not a team I'd want to play right now. They just aren't. Now, there's a 3-week break. But still, I mean, it's really been all season. I was talking to Vince about this earlier. The break is rough. Like, it's coming at a time when ASU's on a tear, and now you get a break. But they played really good at the start of the season. They played really good out of each of their bye weeks. They start games quickly. They don't really seem to be hurt by time off. Now, we'll see. Are they as good? Have they put together the resume that Oregon or Georgia or Texas have? No, they haven't. Oregon's undefeated. Georgia and Texas had monster years in the SEC. I get that. But, they would feasibly are going to play Texas in this. I don't think Texas wants to play ASU. I think there's other teams, if I'm Texas, I'd rather play.
I agree.
And the second that matchup comes out, Texas is going to be heavily favored. ASU loves to play as the underdogs. If you're Texas, you've really got nothing to gain and everything to lose in that matchup. And ASU is like, hey, let's. But I will say this, and Matt Berry brought this up, and we've seen a version of this with the Suns and the Diamondbacks in recent years. Even if your team is better next year or the year after, you're here now. There's no guarantee you're going to be here next year. So, run with this.
Exactly. I love it. It is the way that it should be. The 12 teams, I like that. 8 was what I wanted. I think I've come to the conclusion, Basinonians, that 12 is better. 12 is better. I don't know if I'm ready for 16 yet. I don't know if I'm ready for that, but I can tell you right now that, I'm loving the college football playoff right now, and the fact that 12 teams are going to get the opportunity to do it. Put up or shut up. Period.
There's only one undefeated team. That's Oregon. That's Dan Lanning. Here's his thoughts on it.
What an opportunity, right? I mean, look, in our world, we always talk about red light, green light. Focus on the things you can control, right? That's what we're going to focus on. And, winning a national championship isn't supposed to be easy. You can ask Coach Saban. It's not supposed to be easy. So if our path's a little bit tougher, kudos to us if we go through it and take care of business.
They'll probably get, I guess it could be Tennessee, but they'll get Tennessee or Ohio State in the second round. So it's not going to be easy. None of these are really easy. I mean, Boise State's path isn't easy either, I guess. I mean, I'd rather play the winner of Penn State, SMU than Ohio State, Tennessee, maybe, but who really cares? If you're at this point, you're going to have to win at least three good games against borderline great teams to win the national championship. And that's the way it should be.
It's the way it should be.
We've taken the dumb voting out of it. Now let's just go out there and play and win. This is what we all wanted, right? This is what I think college football fans in general wanted.
Thanks for watching Wolf and Luke. Tap to see more and click the button in the middle to subscribe to Arizona Sports.